Welcome back, everybody. We are live here at Inbound Payments, and today we have an exciting topic, which is going to be statement analysis. A lot of our channel partners have requested that we do a video on statement analysis, but this will be also very helpful if you own a business and you just want to see how we can dissect your statements to ultimately build you a proposal to show you how we can save your business money on your credit card processing fees. And I just obtained a merchant statement from one of our competitors. So we thought it'd be a good idea to go through this statement today and kind of show you what they're paying and kind of talk about what price structure they're on. So in this case, they're actually on an interchange pass-through, which happens to be the most transparent pricing structure in the industry. Now, when I get a merchant statement, the first thing that I like to do is actually flip to the last page. And the reason I like to flip to the last page is I want to see the total amount they paid in fees for credit card processing. So as reflected on this statement, the total processing service fees actually came out to $6,458.70. And the reason I want to look at that first is I want to calculate their effective rate. So if we flip back to the first page, we're going to take the amount that was debited to their account and just simply divide it by the total amount processed. In order to do so, we're going to add up the Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express volume. The total volume was $262,438.32. So when we take what was debited divided by the total volume, we're going to come up with their effective rate. Effectively, this business is paying 2.46%. One thing I'll mention very briefly is this business had a couple different chargebacks. Those are essentially customer disputes, so anytime you get a notice in the mail, be sure to contact your credit card processing company to get those resolved. This business actually did not take action, and it cost them $98.90 for this month in chargeback disputes. Next, we're going to focus on the actual processing summary, which is going to give us a better understanding of what this business is paying on top of their interchange fees, which are set forth and regulated by Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express. For Visa, they ran $153,639.50. They had 2,225 transactions, and they actually paid $76.82 in processing fees to their processor. Now, in order to calculate the effective percentage that they were paying above interchange for Visa, we actually had to take the $76.82 divided by the total volume to come up with 5 basis points. Now, for those of you who are new to credit card processing, 100 basis points is equal to 1%. So 5 basis points is essentially 5/100ths of 1%. So we went ahead and did the same calculation for MasterCard and Discover, and what we found was that it was consistent across the board. This merchant is paying 5 basis points over interchange for Visa, MasterCard, and Discover, and the right-hand column shows you exactly what they paid in fees to their processor. This business paid $6,064.25 for their processing total. Now, this isn't the total amount they paid for the entire month, but what this actually includes is what we call interchange, assessments, as well as the processor markup. So the second line item where it says Visa assessment, $169, if you take the same calculation by dividing $169 by the total amount at $153,639.50, you're actually going to come up with 11 basis points. So again, 100 basis points is 1%. 11 basis points is a little more than 1/10 of 1%. And this is the actual fee that Visa collects on all businesses' credit card volume, and that's essentially how Visa gets paid. Now, you'll also notice that a significant amount of this business's fees were actually titled interchange. Interchange fees are the fees that are set forth and regulated by Visa, MasterCard, and Discover, and these fees cannot be changed. The only thing that we can manipulate to save this business money is the 5 basis points they're paying above interchange and above their assessments. Now, there is one caveat here. If you look at the American Express volume, their processing fees amounted to $1,833.11, If you divide that number by their total amount processed at $51,821.04, you'll notice it comes out to a whopping 3.53%. The reason being is they're on the old American Express program where the restaurant rate used to be 3.50%. If you own a restaurant today and you're accepting American Express, there's actually some significant reductions in cost if you're on the new American Express OptBlue program. We'll do another training to drill into the OptBlue program and make sure that businesses are taking advantage of that. The next thing we're going to focus on is the authorization detail. Authorization fees are essentially the transaction fees that a business incurs when swiping or hand keying credit card transactions. If you look at the number of transactions and the actual rate, this business is paying 7 cents per transaction for Visa, MasterCard, and Discover. For American Express, they're actually paying 10 cents per transaction. On the far right-hand column under authorization fee, you'll notice that the authorization total is $268.42. So up to this point, the only thing that we can really manipulate to help save this business money is the 5 basis points they're paying above interchange for Visa, MasterCard, and Discover. We can also manipulate the American Express program they're on to bring down that 3.53% closer to 3%, which will be very significant on nearly $52,000 in payment volume. So, moving forward, we're going to talk about the final section of the statement. As you can see, many of these fees are actually listed as miscellaneous fees, when in fact most of them are legitimate fees, with the exception of a few in which we'll point out. The first one is actually a $15 fee for the chargebacks that we had talked about earlier. Now, this is actually somewhat of a legitimate fee in the sense that your payment processor generally is going to have a cost anytime a chargeback dispute happens. It essentially becomes a litigation process, and anytime the processor has to get involved, they're going to have a cost on that. Our cost is actually $6, in which we would cleanly pass along to our customers. The next fee you see is labeled batch settlement fee. This is any time that you are closing out your point of sale system, credit card terminal, or if you're taking payments through the internet virtual terminal, this business is being charged 20 cents every time they close out. As you can see, there was 31 transactions times the 20 cents amounting to $6.20 in batch settlement fees. Right below that, you'll see the on-file fee. Now this is just completely a miscellaneous fee. It's a junk fee. It's $10 that the processor is extending to this business because it's free revenue for them. So, up to this point, we've covered all of the fees on this merchant statement that we can actually manipulate to help them save some money. As for a quick recap, this business is paying 5 basis points above interchange on Visa, MasterCard, and Discover. This business is paying the restaurant rate of 3.5% on American Express, which we would be able to help them reduce to closer to 3% or below. They're also paying 7 cents per transaction for Visa, MasterCard, and Discover, 10 cents per transaction for American Express, and then they had a few miscellaneous fees in which we would propose to remove. Since this business is processing in excess of $750,000, our account representatives will build them a custom proposal to ensure their business saves money. If you're struggling with your credit card fees or don't understand your statements, be sure to contact Inbound Payments for an in-depth statement analysis, and we'll show you how we can help you to save money moving forward.